Hello chess family, it's me National Master Jesse James, and today we're going to be taking a look at rule number 8, play get control of the center. In this game we're going to be seeing young Morphy playing against his father Alonzo Morphy and just completely dominating his dad because of this very strong and easy concept. Controlling the center is such an important thing that I feel like most people don't really understand how to actually utilize it. In this game we're going to be seeing how it is won, but also how to use it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this game. Here we go. We start up with e4, e5, pawn to f4. King's Gambit players, I know you're excited about this. The best way to beat a gambit is to accept it. E takes on f4. Now the threat is going to be queen to h4 check. And here, a lot of people are going to be playing the move knight to f3. Young Morphy here has a very interesting plan, though. He's going to go ahead and play bishop to c4 here. I've actually done this in a few games. I play the King's Gambit from time to time. And I will say the trap that Morphy sets and his father falls for is the same thing that my opponents usually do too. Mostly in just casual games and typically against lower rated opponents. Here, I mean, why shouldn't black play queen h4 check? And here, the king just goes to f1. Now, what did we get for this? Well, it's a very simple idea. Although we've lost the right to castle, we're going to get a free tempo by developing our knight to f3 by attacking the queen. And also, we're going to be able to go ahead and control the center with pawn d4. And this is the trap that Alonzo Morphy falls for. And it's a move that, you know, if you're not thinking ahead, it looks just so casual. Black goes ahead and plays bishop c5. And this gives white immediately the advantage here. Well, it looks like a good move. You're going ahead and threatening checkmate in one. How can this be bad? Because you weren't expecting your opponent's reply. Remember, you should be calculating and trying to expect what your opponent's going to do. Here, Morphy has a very simple move here. What do we play here? Simple chess. Let's just control the center all by ourselves. Pawn to d4, getting a free tempo. And now we're also letting our bishop out over here. The bishop goes back to b6. And, well, later on we can play something like pawn c3, but that's not really needed. This bishop's just going to be cut out either way. Let's keep up with development. Knight goes to f3, attacking the queen. And the queen retreats to e7. Well, the queen is attacking this e4 pawn. Let's go ahead and keep developing and go ahead and defend the pawn. Simple chess. Develop knights before bishops. Knight c3. Black plays knight f6 here. And now Morphy actually misses the best move in this position. Morphy is very good about the development, but misses a good chance here. What would you play in this position if you were playing white? I hear some people saying pawn to e5, and you are indeed right. Here, pawn e5 was the best move here. Not only because it's going to attack the knight, but it's because it's controlling more space. And this is one of the ideas I want to talk to you about. The reason why we control the center is to push our opponent's pieces back, and this is seen very nicely with this move. Here, the knight really has nowhere good to go. In fact, computers are already saying we should just go ahead and run backwards to g8. And this is what it's all about. When you control the center, you hinder your opponent's pieces from being developed, and also they can't even move anywhere. So, yep, here white is just in a very, very bad position here. In the game, though, young Morphy, he would think he was only 12 years old at the time, so we'll give him a little slack. Plays a good move, just not the best. Queen to d3. This develops a piece and also defends the pawn. Well, it's also controlling the center, so it can't be that bad. Here, Alonzo plays pawn c6. What is black thinking here? Well, black is thinking, I probably want to go pawn to d5 here, which doesn't really make much sense here. Well, if you play d5, you're going to be having 3 attackers ready and only 2 defenders for it. So this was already a miscalculation by Alonzo Morphy. Well, Morphy doesn't stray away from the attack. Let's keep developing pieces. Let's keep making threats. Bishop takes on f4. Winning a pawn, developing another piece. I think if we talk about controlling the center, this is going to be a very good prime example. Some people call this the golden position, and I do agree. This looks like gold right here. Black went ahead and played pawn d5. And, well, free money's free money. Let's just go ahead and take. And here I think Alonzo realized that, well, king and queen on an open file here. Rook e1 is coming. He got a little afraid of this and just went ahead and castled here. You know, a bad position is a bad position, but hey, let's just keep doing what we're doing. White to move. What's our best move here? Rook e1 is definitely a move to play. Here, Morphy decides to hold on to the pawn. So Here we don't want to take on c6. Why? Well, yes, we're able to make a trade-off, but when you take on c6, you're actually helping out your opponent because you're helping develop the pieces. In fact, whenever this happens, black actually has a very decent position. It's almost about equal here. And yeah, black's not looking so bad. White's definitely a little bit better, but maybe because of this king, this is not going to be the best for them. So here instead, young Morphy chooses a very strong move here and plays pawn to d6. This keeps the pawn and is going to hinder the knight from going to its best square, which is the c6 square. Well, the queen's being attacked. This is why it's important that you are always thinking, where is the best place to put your pieces? Think about where your opponent's going to try and attack you. Where should this queen retreat to? d8, e8, or to d7? Well, if you think it was e8, unfortunately you just fell for it. Rook to b1 gets played. Nice tempo move here. You have to move your queen again. Queen to d7. Be careful. Maybe there's like some knight e5 ideas, and I don't think you want to win the pawn here, as after queen takes, maybe knight g6 here, and I'm going to be winning this rook. So here, best for black is just to go ahead and play queen back to d8 here. And this is exactly what happens. Well, let's keep up the development. White has a very good advantage, but we got to transfer that into a material advantage. Let's keep going. Rook to e1, of course. Rook to e8. And this is going to be a bad move for black. Why? Well, we should really focus on getting off the minors first. And I think black did this because he wanted to trade off some of white's strong pieces. Unfortunately, the only thing he's doing is actually removing defenders around the king. In fact, there's one square that's particularly weak now. What square is it? It's very important that you start noticing where your opponent's weaknesses are, because you can identify the weaknesses, then you attack them. It's as simple as that. So what's the weak square here? The f7 pawn, of course. So Morphy goes ahead and puts pressure on it. How do you put pressure on f7? It's time to start moving forward with our pieces. Knight to g5. Knight e5 is also a way to play here, but if something like knight e5, black can play something like bishop e6 and look for making trades here. So when we play the knight to g5, this does many things. First of all, it's going to put pressure on f7. The bishop e6 ideas won't work anymore because we have 3 attackers. And the other thing is, it puts pressure on h7, which you can see this queen is keenly eyeing. Black went ahead and played rook takes, king takes, and well, this is just dandy for them because now f7 is even weaker, and queen e8 check. All right, what's the best move here for white? We're going to move our king out the way, and there's many different squares, but only one of them is the best. Should we go to d2, d1, f2, or f1? I will say you could block with the piece, but one of the best things you should do whenever you're in check or anytime you're thinking about pinning yourself is not pin yourself, right? Pins are going to be bad for you because that piece will be hindered or will have to be there because it's blocking for the other piece. So try not to put yourself in pins here. So we got king d2, king d1, king f2, and king f1. Which one should we go to? We're looking at our opponent's moves. We're seeing how they can attack us and how we can try and stop it. So you say king f1. This is an okay move, but you failed to think about your next piece that you want to develop, which was your rook. So here, no points. You did not bring your king out to the best square. Well, maybe king goes back to f2. Be careful, already there's some checks you have to take a look at, which can be a bit annoying. I don't want to deal with these kind of things. King to d1. Again, you're missing ideas here. Bishop g4 check, bishop h5, and now maybe we can defend against this. White's still winning, but the best move here is to play king to d2. There's no good checks here that can be played. Of course, knight e4 check can get played, but we'll simply just take that back. The king moves out the way, and now we're getting ready to move our last piece into the game, which is this beautiful rook over here on h1. Well, black tries to defend this f7 pawn the only way that he can. Bishop to e6. Develop with a threat. Hopefully you see the best move here. Rook to e1, pin it and win it. Here, there's no good way to not lose the pawn, to not lose here. Of course, if you're thinking about maybe taking here because, man, we're attacking the queen. Uh-oh, you missed it. We take in check here. Oof, bad chess right there. So, black went ahead and played knight b to d7, and now the game is over. If you play the right continuation here. There's 3 different combinations of taking on e6. Right? 3 different pieces we can do with. Only one of them is going to be the best. Which one is it? Hopefully you're calculating, trying to figure that out. Here, the best way to play is to play knight takes on e6. This may seem a bit weird. I think a lot of people here are going to be looking at bishop takes, pawn takes, and then rook takes, and it's not a bad idea. White's still doing good in this one. You're going to penetrate with rook to e7, but here the queen can move away. And again, white's winning there, but that's just a stronger idea. If you're thinking about knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes check, not a bad idea again. Checks are nice, but after king h8, there's no more checks to deal with, and black is still surviving in this position. The best way was to see the tactic and do the exact same idea, but this time we're going to take back with the rook. It may seem like the only idea is to attack the queen, but the real idea is that we put ourselves into the tactic of the discovery attack. So here, there really is no good way. Black is going to be losing the queen. For instance, if you try to move your queen to a safe square, let's just say queen to h5. Uh-oh, you just lost the game. Now, there's many different ways to win here. Only one of them is the best. Hopefully, you saw the best way to win. If you said rook e5, check weighing the queen, that's not it. That's not the move. Here, it was rook to e8, double check, and mate. What a beautiful way you could end the game here. Yeah, there's just nowhere to move the queen because, well, this rook e8 is going to be coming. You could try to play queen f7 here, which is trying to block it, but again, this is just not working. What's the best move here for white? Hopefully you didn't fall for black's trap. If you played rook to e8 check, this is exactly what black wants. He's going to be able to play rook takes, bishop takes, and king takes. Now, is white still winning here? Of course they are. But you did have to give out 2 pieces to win the queen. So it's going to take a little bit of work here to nurture this position. Here, the simple move to win a queen for only 1 piece was just to play rook e7. And now we see the rook is attacking the queen, but also we've pinned the queen to the king with this bishop. In the game, after rook takes on e6, Morphy's father, Alonzo, says, you know what, kid, you're getting too good for me, I resign. And I don't blame him. This is definitely one of those resignable positions. Remember, guys, control the center. One of the main reasons why we control the center, especially by using our pawns, is to push back our opponent's pieces by using them. This is going to stop them from even developing pieces. I get this a lot from a lot of weaker players. They say, you know what, when I play you, I just feel like I'm being slowly pushed back. That's exactly what I'm doing. Well, I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.